You're listening to the Known Legacy Podcast, brought to you by Known Legacy Ministries. For more information, go to knownlegacy.org. Now here's your hosts, Bill and Travis.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Kyle and Travis.
Good morning, Bill.
And Kyle. Good morning, Kyle.
And Travis.
Have you got to look at mornings?
We haven't done this for 5 seasons or something.
I know, like we don't even know what we're doing. Like your name is, but no. So I'm at an impasse this year because
yes, you should listen to Christmas music right now.
That's what my impasse is.
Really?
But here's the problem. So I'm struggling with that. So we've made like this happy medium where usually my wife falls. I'm like a night owl. So a lot of times she'll go upstairs and fall asleep, and we still have a TV in our room. I know everyone's like, you should get a TV in our room, but we're okay.
Right.
With or without TV. Things are good.
If you know what I mean.
And so, but she'll put on like a show, and she's been putting on Hallmark Christmas movies. Which I know that we don't know the plot of. The hometown girl comes back home from New York City who meets the guy who's really cute, who's actually really sensitive, but he's also a lumberjack.
Right.
And then they fall in love, but then she betrays him because she's going to go back to the guy that she loves, and then he's going to end up going. But then she goes back to New York City, and he goes out and rescues her, and then it snows and they get married because he brings the ring.
Just hear those J-bells. How did I miss that song?
Just J-bells ringling. Anyways. But I'm okay with it, I think. But here's my question. Okay, so I'm okay with it because it's like soft in the background, and she likes the TV on and fall asleep.
Yeah.
I end up falling asleep on them. Anyways, it's because it's soft and it's quiet. And it's like whatever.
What was that again?
So you fall asleep. But I have a conundrum because usually my Christmas starts out with one movie that sets the tone.
Die Hard.
Yes.
Got to be Die Hard.
Okay, good. So you've answered the question. You can't do Christmas before you do Die Hard. Yes or no? Does it have to be your first movie?
So my family would argue with me because for whatever reason, there's 2 things that I lament that I was not able to push into the hearts of my kids. One is a love of soccer. Don't hold that against me. You can judge me. I don't care.
It's okay.
Number 2 is they don't love the movie Die Hard.
My daughter hates Die Hard, too.
And it just infuriates. So they will do Elf. That is their kickoff movie.
See,
They'll
I feel like
Elf.
I gotta be Thanksgiving-ish for Elf.
See.
Dum dum dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, okay, I'll watch it tonight. Okay, never mind. I want to watch it tonight.
Hope you find your dad, buddy. I love it. So no. So actually, my wife and I actually had the conversation last night. I was like, "Can we put up the Christmas tree?" And it is the 3rd of November, and she's like, "Can we put?" And I'm like, "Can we put it up?" And she goes, "Not until after Thanksgiving." I was like, "Oh, come on."
What is it? Because I'm feeling it, but I'm feeling it because maybe 2020 we put it up early because we're like we needed some cheer. Like we needed something to look forward to,
joy.
But I think that's where it kind of started, and that broke the shell for early. But I'm okay with Christmas movies. I think more, but I think I have to start with Die Hard this weekend.
Is it just because we're getting old, Bill?
Maybe, and it goes by too fast.
Yeah, we're getting old, and nostalgia is taking roots, and
maybe that's it.
Else. So I'm listening to Christmas music all the time. Like Peanuts Christmas and. Frank Sinatra's Christmas album, the Rat Pack Christmas album. It is in my playlist 24/7 right now.
Well, so now help us out though. If you're listening, info at Known Legacy. Should we listen to Christmas music early? We need this. This is a poll we're taking, so we're expecting you to email us.
And if you're trapped on a desert island and you could have one Christmas song for the rest of your life,
Dominic the Donkey.
And if you have not listened to Dominic Donkey ever, this was introduced to us 2 years ago on the podcast.
Yes, it
and
was.
now it's a family staple for the family. Absolutely.
Good.
If you haven't listened to it, download that bad boy. It's a fan one. It's a fan favorite.
I like it. It's pretty good. Anyways, I totally derailed today, but I was struggling in my spirit. I had to confess that to my brothers about how I'm feeling about Christmas music, and thank you for validating my concerns.
It seems like Kyle's a little bit of a Grinch.
No. So let's just not disrespect Thanksgiving.
I want Thanksgiving.
Because believe it or not, that's my favorite holiday.
Really?
Because Christmas is not really Jesus' birthday, and it's commercialized.
Are you serious? He wasn't born on December 25th.
But, I mean, Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. There's no gifts. Nobody's thinking about anything other than being together as a family.
And you're eating food.
And sharing. And I hate the fact that it gets derailed by Christmas. I mean, we went to Kroger the day after Halloween to get discount candy, and all the candy's already been replaced and all in Christmas colors. And they're already putting the Christmas stuff out.
You're like, it's too early.
It's too early.
Okay, I see that. But I'm at the point where
I don't see
I'm
it
like,
binary. I don't see it as an either or, an on-off. I think it's all let's go.
I want more Thanksgiving attention.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
fair
this
enough.
podcast had nothing to do with the holidays, but we're preparing your heart because we just had a great a great interview from Rich Garza, former NFL player, and he shared some stuff that at least hit me about knowing your testimony and the value of knowing your testimony. And I realized there's a lot of guys who I know who know Jesus who I've never had that conversation. Like, do you know how to share your testimony? Because it can sound like it can sound formal and formatted, but it is really good to know, like,
right,
how to share your testimony.
Well, and I think, as I reflect on it, one of the things that, again, unintentionally we do within the church is we share these really big testimonies. The guy who was, Miles McPherson was very influential to me when I was in high school, and he was an ex-NFL player. He's a DB, I believe, for the Chargers, and his testimony was one day he did cocaine, and he was like amped up, and the next day he woke up, and his life was forever changed, And so I think we fall in love with these bigger than life, but most of us guys, we don't have the massive transformational testimony.
Yeah.
We have this very incremental testimony that we sometimes will discount, and we take away the power of that testimony because we're like, oh, it's no big deal.
Good
and
point,
it is a big
good
deal.
point. That's a good
It is a big
point.
deal, right?
No, I think that's a really good point because there is this. Even when I was younger, they would talk about, no, we need to talk about the dark part of your life, and you're like, here I am, there was like a guy who was like 7 years old. It's like I didn't do drugs at 7. I got saved at 7. But the bigger question is not so much what you got saved out of. I remember somebody told me about this, like, Bill, it's not so much what you got saved out of, it's what you got saved from.
Yes.
Like, you didn't have to walk in that brokenness. There was more of your life that you walked in this relationship with the Creator. Now, maybe it wasn't like this hellfire, brimstone, and you were, standing on the side of a bridge ready to call it quits. It was more, I didn't ever have to walk in that. And we've devalued that in our society of what have we been saved from. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. We value the Paul transition on the road to Damascus, and we forget the absolute transformation that happened to these everyday guys, the disciples, that were just doing their jobs. And Christ came in and says, I want you to lay down that net, and I'm going to teach you how to fish. Use your skills for the kingdom of God. To fish for men, no longer just fish for fish. And I think we miss that. And so I think our heart from the conversation we had with Ray, and if you haven't had a chance to go listen to it yet, go back and listen to it. It's last week's. You can find it on YouTube. You can also find it on the Facebooks.
Podcasting sites and all that kind of stuff.
But it's this wonderful and simple process of, like, what was it like when you were blind before faith captured your heart and captured your mind? And then what was that transformation moment like? And then what does it look like post-transformation? How has God refined you, transformed you, continued to prune you over your journey?
I think part of it, and maybe this is speaking to the heart of where we are, like, I don't know, like, God reached down in his divinity and love and thought that we were valuable enough to redeem.
Right.
It doesn't matter how stupid we were before that.
Correct.
It matters that there's this God who reached down to redeem us and want to give us an abundant life. And that's the focus. So stop devaluing it. I forget, who was it? Was it the SNL skit where he's like, stop it? He's like, stop it. Like, it's like, just stop believing that your value is based on you being redeemed from something. It is the fact that there was a creator who saw value in you that wanted to reach down and pull you out of the pits of hell.
Right.
Which is where everybody was going until Jesus. And that's the testimony more than I got saved from drugs and alcohol and girls or whatever it was. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense. And so I guess our encouragement to you during this hot take is take some time to reflect.
Yeah.
And it might take, like, again, because we're living it and we don't always see it, take some time to reflect on where you were 10, 15 years ago and how God has transitioned you and shifted you and your priorities to where you are today. And first off, give glory to him, because this isn't our ability to make these changes and transformations.
Yeah.
This is really a God thing.
It's not mechanical.
No.
And so I think you're right, taking an assessment of, wow, I have hope now. I didn't have hope. Yes, I was redeemed from the drugs, alcohol, whatever it was, but that doesn't make it a more beautiful story than the person who didn't have to walk through that.
Right.
And so to remember where we've come from, that each step matters. But the enemy wants to lie to us that we haven't gone that far. But the word says that it's a lamp to our feet and a light to our path. So we take the step, we remember the step that we're in, but if we look back, you can see how far you've come.
Right.
And if you haven't, then that's a conviction in itself to go, maybe I should make some changes. So I would say this is an assessment. It's a time to, when this is over, to turn it off, to get in silence in your car, to get in silence at your house. And even if you have to go into the bathroom and just sit down and go, man, have I really accepted this hope? Have I really walked in this? And God, show me where I've been changed by you.
Right.
And just enjoy that. Let that be the Thanksgiving part of our holiday, not just the Christmas. Like, to be thankful in what we've been redeemed from. Maybe that's our challenge today.
Yeah, be thankful.
I love it.
Give thanks
with a grateful heart.
Give thanks
to the Holy One. But we really should. So, anyways, 3 idiots. That's we're gonna call our podcast 3 Idiots from now on. But no, listen, we believe in you, but it doesn't even matter that we believe in you. It matters that you have a God who saw value in that for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. And you are part of that joy.
Right.
And so do not devalue what God has in store for you. Think about your testimony. Let it be something, even through this holiday season, you see why there's something to be thankful for.
Love it.
And walk in that.
Love it. Love it. As always, thank you guys for checking us out. You can get more info at info@knownlegacy.org is where you can reach out to us and let us know questions, comments, concerns that you might have. You can also find out all the information on different events that are coming up. You can make a donation at knownlegacy.org. You can find Bill's book there, More Than You. And you can find that also on Amazon, so we encourage you to do that. It's a lifelong journey, man, and that's the thing that Rich reminded us. Be consistent. Show up every day. Just show up every day and see what God can do.
And if at least there's 3 guys right here that believe in you and believe in what God's doing in your life, so do not give up, because you also have a God who is much better and way better looking than we will ever be together and combined.
Fair.
Who believes in you.
Fair.
So, guys, have a great week. We believe in you. Thanks for listening. Share it with your friends.
God bless you guys.
Thanks for listening to the Known Legacy Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. So email us your questions or comments to info@knownlegacy.org.